Listen to me. The mind is a battlefield. Every morning when you wake up, you are at war, not with the world, but with yourself. One voice says, stay where you are, play it safe, nothing will change. The other voice says, get up, push, believe that something greater is waiting for you. And the weapon you choose in that war is your mindset. Positivity isn't a cute slogan. It's the shield that protects your vision and the sword that cuts through your fear. If you lose your mindset, you lose your life. But if you master positivity, there is nothing in this world that can stop you. You wake up every single day with two options staring you in the face. You can let your feelings dictate your future, or you can make a decision that feelings will not run your life. Positivity is not about smiling when things are easy. It's about making a choice when everything around you is screaming quit. It's about saying to yourself, no matter what I see, no matter what I feel, I will focus on what I can control, and I will stand on the belief that something good is possible. That's not emotion, that's discipline. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Think about that. He didn't say your happiness depends on your bank account, your job, or the approval of others. He said it's the thoughts you allow to dominate your mind that shape your reality. If your thoughts are negative, then your life will mirror that. If your thoughts are positive, even in the darkest moments, your life can still produce light. I remember watching people grow up in the same neighborhood with the same struggles, the same broken systems, the same lack of resources. One gave into anger, hopelessness, and negativity, and that mindset became the prison they never escaped. Another made a decision, a conscious daily decision, to think differently, to believe that their future was bigger than their present. Same environment, different results, because positivity became their weapon. That's the power of a choice. Don't confuse positivity with denial. Choosing positivity doesn't mean ignoring pain, pretending life is easy, or acting like nothing hurts. It means that when pain shows up, you decide not to let it become permanent. It means you don't give suffering the authority to dictate your destiny. You say to the storm, you can hit me, but you won't stop me. You can slow me down, but you won't define me. That is the difference between the person who quits at the first obstacle and the person who uses obstacles as stepping stones. Let me tell you something important. Success is not built on comfort. Every empire, every fortune, every great story was built by someone who faced difficulty and still chose to move forward. The great poet Rumi said, try to accept the changing seasons of your heart, even if winter is upon you. Why? Because positivity understands that no winter lasts forever. Wealth, growth, victory, they all come to those who plant in the cold, not just those who harvest in the sunshine. Your feelings will betray you. Feelings tell you to sleep when you should be grinding. Feelings tell you to quit when you're one step away from breakthrough. But decisions backed by positivity, anchor you when feelings are fragile. Remember this, a man who is positive in his thinking can find opportunities where others see nothing but walls. That is how wealth is created, not by waiting for better conditions, but by deciding that your mindset will turn conditions into opportunities. So today, stop waiting to feel positive. Decide to be positive. Decide to control your thoughts. Decide to rise above what you see and walk in what you believe. Because once you master that choice, you unlock the power of positivity to change your life forever. Every single word that comes out of your mouth is either building a future or destroying one. Too many of us underestimate the power of the tongue, yet it is the most powerful tool we carry every day. You don't even realize it, but your words are creating the blueprint of your life. When you speak defeat, you start living defeated. When you speak hope, doors begin to open that you couldn't see before. That's why I tell you, be careful what you let escape your lips, because once it's out there, it starts shaping your reality. The book of Proverbs says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. Think about that. Your words are seeds, and they will bear fruit, whether good or bad. You want success, speak success. You want strength, speak strength. You want opportunities, start talking like you are ready for them. Too many people curse their own future by saying things like, I can't do it, I'll never make it, I don't have what it takes. They don't even realize they're programming failure into their spirit. I've seen people with less talent, fewer resources, and bigger obstacles win simply because they never spoke against themselves. They told themselves, I will figure it out. I will make a way. I will rise from this. And every time they said it, their mind, their body, and their actions lined up with the words. It wasn't magic, it was alignment. You can't expect your life to go one way while your mouth is pointing in the other direction. Look at the ancient wisdom of the Egyptian sage Hotep, who said, a man's ruin is his tongue. He understood this centuries ago that careless speech could destroy destinies. And on the flip side, deliberate speech laced with hope and vision can build legacies. Your words are energy. They don't disappear after you say them. They echo, they create vibrations in your life. They push you toward the image you've declared. Here's a practical truth. When you wake up in the morning and declare this is going to be a productive day, you begin to move in alignment with that expectation. You spot opportunities faster. You engage with people differently. You even carry yourself with more energy. But wake up saying, I'm tired, I hate this day, nothing good ever happens. And I promise you, you'll find evidence to back that negativity up. Words frame your reality. Understand this. Wealth, growth, and breakthroughs don't just happen by accident. They start in language. The entrepreneurs, the leaders, the visionaries of history were not just people of action. They were people who declared boldly what they believed before the evidence ever showed up. And because they spoke it, they carried themselves like it was already true. And eventually the world caught up to their declaration. So the next time you're tempted to speak doubt, stop yourself. Replace it with light. Say, I am capable, I am resilient, I am building something greater than myself. Even when you feel weak, let your words be strong, because they will give your spirit something to rise to. Remember this line, a negative tongue digs a grave, but a positive tongue builds a ladder. Which one will you choose? Choose to speak life, because your words are creating the world you are about to walk into. Life will never promise you calm seas. Storms are inevitable. Problems will come. Disappointments will show up. Pain will knock on your door when you least expect it. The question is not whether the storm will arrive. It's whether you will drown in it or find a way to sail through it. That answer doesn't come from the storm itself. It comes from your attitude. You can't always control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. The ancient philosopher Seneca wrote, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. What he meant is simple. Storms refine us. They reveal what's real inside of us. Some of you keep praying for a life without problems, but you don't realize it's the very problems that give you the strength, the resilience, the patience you need to handle the blessings you're asking for. Without the storm, you wouldn't be ready for the harvest. I've seen it with my own eyes. Two people go through the same hardship. Maybe they both lose a job. Maybe they both go through financial setbacks. One sinks into bitterness, anger, and despair. The other looks at the exact same situation and says, all right, this is my chance to build something new, to reinvent myself, to rise higher than before. Same storm, different outcome. The difference isn't luck, it's attitude. You have to make up your mind before the storm even comes that you will not be defined by difficulty. When the winds start howling, remind yourself this is not here to destroy me, it's here to develop me. Storms test your character, they sharpen your focus, they strip away the distractions so you can see what truly matters. The sailor who only sails in calm waters never learns how to command the ship. But the sailor who masters the storm becomes unstoppable on the sea. The great poet Khalil Gibran once said, out of suffering have emerged the strongest souls. The most massive characters are seared with scars. Those scars aren't signs of defeat. They are proof that you survived what tried to kill you. Every scar you carry is a reminder that storms came, but they didn't take you out. And if they didn't break you then, why should the next one break you now? Here's a practical example. Think of the farmer when storms hit his land, when rains flood the fields or winds tear through the crops. He doesn't throw away his tools and give up. He works with what's left. He replants, he rebuilds. And because of his persistence, the next harvest often comes back stronger. That's the attitude you need. Don't curse the storm. Learn from it, work with it, and let it prepare you for a greater season. Your attitude is the anchor. A negative mind in a storm sinks quickly, but a positive mind finds a way to navigate, to endure, to keep moving until the sky is clear. You don't get to choose the storm, but you get to choose your spirit inside of it. And that choice will determine whether you drown in despair or sail into destiny. So the next time life shakes you, don't ask why me. Ask, what's this storm building in me? Because storms will come, but your attitude will always decide if you drown or if you sail. You cannot rise high while being surrounded by people who keep pulling you down. Your circle is either your fuel or your fire. The truth is, negativity is contagious, and if you're not careful, it will spread into your spirit and infect your vision before you even realize it. The people you allow in your space are shaping your thoughts, your habits, and eventually your destiny. If you walk with doubters, you will inherit their doubts. If you walk with builders, you will inherit their courage. The ancient Greek philosopher Epictetus said, the key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. That's not just good advice. It's survival. You can't keep toxic voices around you and expect to stay positive. Every day is a battle for your mind, and the wrong company will make you fight twice as hard just to stay focused. But the right company, the right circle, will remind you of who you are when you forget, will push you when you feel weak, and will challenge you to reach levels you didn't think possible. Look around at your life right now. Who has access to your energy? Who do you give your time to? Some of you are failing, not because you lack talent or discipline, but because you're trying to climb a mountain with people who keep pulling you back downhill. That's like running a race with someone who ties weights to your legs. You're wondering why you feel drained, why negativity keeps showing up in your thoughts. It's because you've allowed the wrong circle to plant the wrong seeds. Think of it this way. If you put a healthy apple in a basket of rotten apples, the rotten apples will not become fresh. The fresh apple will rot. That's the power of influence. You have to guard your spirit the way you guard your bank account. You wouldn't let a thief walk into your home and take your money. So why let negative people walk into your mind and take your peace? Protect your circle like your future depends on it, because it does. I remember an old proverb that says, tell me who your friends are and I will tell you who you are. That's timeless truth. If you're always around people who complain, who gossip, who see problems instead of solutions, it's only a matter of time before you mirror their energy. But when you intentionally surround yourself with visionaries, workers, encouragers, you rise to their level. Their fire ignites yours. Here's the practical part. Some relationships you must limit and some you must cut off entirely. It doesn't mean you hate them, it means you love yourself enough to protect your purpose. And once you create a circle filled with positivity, growth, and accountability, you'll notice your own thoughts become sharper, your decisions wiser, and your results bigger. Negativity spreads fast, but so does positivity. Surround yourself with builders and you'll start building. Surround yourself with dreamers and you'll start dreaming bigger. Surround yourself with believers and you'll start believing in what's possible for your own life. Protect your circle, because who you walk with today is shaping who you will become tomorrow. Everything great that has ever been built started with belief before there was proof. You can't wait until the evidence shows up to start believing, because by the time you see it, it's too late to build it. Faith is the fuel that carries you through the invisible stages of your dream. Belief is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If you don't believe before you see, you'll never have the strength to keep going when nothing around you looks like progress. The philosopher Plato once wrote, the beginning is the most important part of the work, but here's the truth. The beginning is also the hardest part, because you have no evidence yet. That's when most people quit. In the beginning, when the seed hasn't broken the ground, when the effort feels unrewarded, when the vision feels too far away. But if you want to live a life of impact, you must develop the discipline to believe in what you've planted long before you see the harvest. I've watched people stop just inches away from breakthrough, not because they lacked ability, but because they lost belief. They let doubt eat away at their vision. They needed to see results before they could commit, but faith doesn't work that way. Belief has to come first. Faith says, even if I don't see it yet, I know it's coming. Faith says, I'll put in the work, I'll show up every day, I'll speak life over my goals because I believe they will manifest in time. Consider the story of the Chinese bamboo tree. You water it, you nurture it, you take care of it for years, and nothing breaks through the soil. To the outside eye, it looks like failure, but in the 5th year, in just weeks, it shoots up to nearly 90 feet tall. Did it grow in weeks? No, it grew underground for years, building roots strong enough to support its height. That's what belief looks like. Watering your dream every day, even when you don't see the results yet, because you know it's growing where eyes can't see. The poet William Blake said, "What is now proved was once only imagined." Think about that. Every building, every invention, every success story existed in someone's imagination before it existed in reality. Somebody had the courage to believe it was possible, even when everyone else laughed. That's why your faith matters. Your belief turns imagination into reality. Here's the practical truth. Belief shapes behavior. If you truly believe in your vision, you will act like it's already real. You'll wake up early. You'll invest your energy. You'll stay disciplined because belief drives action. On the other hand, if you doubt yourself, your actions will mirror that doubt and you'll sabotage your own progress. Stop waiting for proof to believe. Proof comes after faith, not before it. Don't let your lack of evidence rob you of your energy. Fuel yourself with belief, because faith is the engine that will carry you where sight cannot. Believe before you see, because faith will always be the fuel that drives you into the life you were meant to live. Your life is not just about you. The energy you carry, the words you speak, the spirit you project, it outlives you. Positivity is not only a tool to change your present, it's a seed that grows into the future long after you're gone. What you choose to radiate today becomes the environment your children, your community, even strangers will breathe in tomorrow. That's why positivity matters, because it creates legacy. The Roman philosopher Cicero once said, "The life of the dead is placed in the memory of the living." What does that mean? It means the way you live, the energy you release, will echo in the minds and hearts of those who come after you. If all you do is spread negativity, fear, and bitterness, that will be your legacy. But if you live with courage, faith, and positivity, people will carry that with them long after your voice is silent. Your energy becomes their strength. I've seen it with families. One generation chooses negativity, constant complaining, doubt, anger, and it passes down like a curse. But when even one person decides to break that cycle, to live with hope, to model resilience, to speak life instead of death, suddenly the atmosphere shifts. Children grow up with more confidence, spouses build stronger homes, and communities rise from despair to possibility. One positive life can redirect the course of many others. This isn't just philosophy, it's practical. Think about the leader who walks into a room. If their energy is heavy, the whole team feels it and productivity dies. But if that leader walks in with positivity, with vision, with certainty that solutions exist, suddenly the team is energized, problems become challenges, and challenges become opportunities. That's legacy in action, not written in books, but written in the hearts of people who experience your spirit. The Persian poet Hafez once wrote, "The sun never says to the earth, 'You owe me.' Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. Positivity works the same way. When you give it freely, when you pour it into people without keeping score, it lights up their world. You may never see the full impact, but it doesn't matter. Your light has already multiplied." Here's the truth. Money fades, titles fade, even fame fades. But the energy you gave, the lives you touched, the faith you modeled, that never dies. People may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And if you consistently made them feel hope, strength, and possibility, then your legacy is unshakable. So when you wake up and choose positivity, understand this, it's bigger than you. It's about what your children will remember. It's about how your coworkers will describe you. It's about what strangers will carry in their hearts after just one encounter with you. Your energy outlives you. And when you decide to live with positivity, you don't just change your life, you change lives that haven't even been born yet. So hear me clearly, positivity is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the decision you make when the alarm clock rings, the words you speak when doubt creeps in, the anchor you hold when storms rage, the shield you raise against toxic voices, the faith you stand on before results show up, and the legacy you leave when your energy impacts everyone around you. This isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about choosing power when life isn't. The truth is simple. You are either building with positivity or breaking with negativity. And the life you desire, the wealth, the freedom, the peace, the influence, it will only come if you master the discipline of a positive mindset. You can't buy it, you can't borrow it, you can't fake it. You have to choose it every single day. So today, I challenge you, make positivity your weapon. Guard your circle, speak life, sail through storms. Believe before you see. Live in such a way that your energy inspires those around you to rise higher. Because once you choose positivity, you unlock the power to change, not just your life, but every life you touch. Do you want me to also craft a short, powerful one-line outro for your video? Something like a final punchline that lingers in the audience's mind. Choose positivity today, and you wake up tomorrow already winning the battle for your life.